welcome to the P-Suite. That's right, I said the P-Suite, not the C-Suite. This is the P-Suite, where everyone has a corner office, or maybe a favorite spot in the living room, or a yurt, or a spot in the guest room, any sacred place where we can harness our passion, our purpose, and our power. And I am interviewing ladies, amazing and inspiring ladies who are doing just that. They have found a way, or created a way, or made a path to tap into their strengths and their skills and their talents, to find out what they really love to do, and then to share it with the world. And my special guest today is Shae Frichette. So welcome, Shae.
Thank you.
Excellent. Now, Shae is the proprietor of Frichette Winery, which is a family-owned boutique winery here in Washington State on Red Mountain. And she has also been a mentor for middle school girls, probably many others, and a volunteer with the Heart Association, and served on the board of directors of two of my favorite organizations, the local Chamber of Commerce, Tri-City Chamber of Commerce, as well as Visit Tri-Cities. So she's also wife to Greg and mom to Jaden.
Yes.
Is that right? She's a busy and inspiring lady. Now, I first met Shae, I believe, when she was awarded a very prestigious award, in my opinion, the Athena Young Professional Award at our local Women in Business conference. I saw her and thought, ooh, I'd like to get to know her. And then I met Shae in Leadership Tri-Cities. I was a leadership director and Shae was a participant, and I just saw her fire and her energy. And then as I got to know a little bit more about her, we share a lot of common interests: the leadership part, the mentorship, theater, which we could talk about. And she's just a very passionate and loving person. So I'm so delighted to have you as a guest today, Shae.
Wow, thank you. I should just take you everywhere I go and just go, Danette, introduce me. Because or wake up in the morning to that. That was beautiful.
Good morning, Shae Frichette.
Right.
Yes. Okay, my new app will be a good morning.
Right? I'll be the
star.
first to purchase it.
Excellent. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. This is going to be so much fun. I told Shae we have notes. I have notes because I got to keep us on track. But
Yes.
Anyway, okay, so let's talk a little bit about your winery and some other things that pop up.
Okay.
What is your role, your passion, your thing? Like, what are you doing with that? Tell us a little bit about how you, what you're doing with the winery, and then I'll ask you kind of how you got there, because I know that you have I moved from corporate America story. So
I'll say it
wanna
just
hear
like that too.
Okay.
Well, so I run our day-to-day business at Frichette. So I run our tasting room. I do our business development. So when you see our wine in local shops in the Tri-Cities area, Spokane or California, then my job is to get our wine out into the market. I also plan all of our special events. So we do a lot around what I call edutainment. So we specialize in educating, doing some wine education in an entertaining way. So
edutainment.
Edutainment.
I
Yes.
like that.
Yeah, isn't
I'm a
it
learner.
fun?
I like that.
So we just have a plethora of really cool wine dinner events and wine education events. So I'm behind that.
Excellent. Oh, I love to hear that, and I love the learning. So I need to tap into some.
You need to be edutained.
I need to be edutained. That's right. All right. So tell us a little bit about your journey. How did you get there? Did you wake up in the morning? Is this a second grade dream that you had? How did you get where you are in terms of the winery and professionally?
So my background is in organizational development and leadership, and I loved, being an executive coach and teaching leadership workshops. Yeah, I know, right?
Right.
Helping folks just kind of figure out their journey and the path to get there. It was so much fun. But, my husband and I really wanted to have a family, and when we thought about, what would we like for our family, we really kind of saw ourselves being in a village, because it takes a village, right? And in Southern California, where we were living, we didn't have family there. And so we said, we're going to have a family and we're going to move closer to our parents. So I said to my husband, great, I'll call my folks in South Carolina and tell them we're moving there. And Greg says, no, when I thought about moving closer to our parents, I meant my parents, not your parents. So, yeah.
A little different.
Right.
Wait, so that's pretty far away.
I know. Well, South Carolina, I'm born and raised there. I'm a Southern belle. So, when we just said, the only fair way to decide is to flip a coin. Heads is Washington, tails is South Carolina. We flipped the coin, it landed on heads, and so I packed my bags, moving to Washington State.
Welcome to Washington.
I know. And
the flip of the coin.
Right, exactly.
How all good decisions are made.
Right. And when we decided to move to Washington, we just thought, let's do something that gives us goosebumps. Let's create something that aligns with what we believe in, and It's something that we can raise our family in, and we thought, when in Washington, why not wine? So we
Why not?
decided to
We
create
have
a
a lot of
business. Exactly. And wine is a booming business in the state,
Sure.
so and in the world. So we just thought, create Frichette Winery. Our son Jaden, he is in the tasting room with me, and the logo on our bottle is a Frichette. It's an F for Frichette, but if you turn the bottle upside down, it's a J for Jaden. So we wanted family, we wanted
That's wonderful.
community, and so that's kind of what led me to wine.
Wow, what an interesting path, and to do something that gives you goosebumps. Now, how many
Yeah.
people are doing things that give them goosebumps? I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That's a Shaeism. I'm just going to start calling them Shaeisms because I have one in my script later. Okay, so I was looking at your logo this morning, Ashley, and I thought that is so cool because it's kind of like the F with the
Yeah.
little grapes hanging down, but if you flip it up, it's
a
that
J for Jaden.
I
Mhm.
love that.
Yeah.
How honoring. And I know that family's important and that you want to create that legacy for, your family in the business.
Right,
As well as
exactly.
in the home kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
so Shae, what kind of skills, what did you learn that you needed to be successful at doing something that gives you goosebumps? What did you learn along the way? I need these things. I have some of them. I need some other things.
Yeah.
What did you learn you needed?
I think one of the things that I took for granted was the skill of creativity, because I think that can be learned. I think that some folks, they kind of just, it's innate. And one of the things that I did when I was going through my coaching program is we had to sit on our kitchen sink and just be creative. What does this do? What does this do? And the funny thing is sometimes I still do that when I feel like I'm not creative enough.
I love that.
Yeah. So I think that, getting into entrepreneurship really is, making yourself look at things from different perspectives.
Sure.
What if? So creativity, I think, is a big thing. I think trust, having trust-based relationships and networking, I kind of bundle those things into one, but I think those things are extremely important when it, at least for me.
Sure. If you have a relationship, it's different if it has trust
Right.
in it. And building a real relationship when you're networking is a lot different than just going out and collecting business cards and handing them out.
Tell me about
Getting
it.
on the list. And,
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why I want you here.
I'm so excited.
I love this girl. Okay, so did you have, so creativity, trust, and relationship. I love all that. When you're getting ready to move to the state and start your winery, and getting all those kind of ducks in a row, did you have bumps? Did you have barriers? Did you have walls? Did you have doubts? What did you run into, and then how did you overcome that?
I'd love to meet someone who has something so different and they're not nervous about it, because of course I was nervous. Everything was changing for me. I was a new mom.
Right.
I was moving to a brand new state. I was switching careers. I mean, everything was just so new.
If you can go through more changes than that on that change factor,
Right.
that change assessment, you were at the top.
Oh yeah,
That's a lot.
Oh yeah, and I was incredibly nervous, but I knew that what I was doing was the right thing. It aligned with everything that I believed in. It was when I looked at my values, it was just like, yep, check, check, check. It aligns with that. When I looked at what my wildest dreams were, check, check, check. It aligned with that. When I was thinking
Goosebumps.
do I get goosebumps? I was like, yes, it does. It aligns with that. So it was so right, but of course I was still nervous.
So what did you do to get past the nervous? Did you hold on to those, or was there something that kind of pulled you through, or pushed you, or led you, or what helped you?
Well, I don't think I'm a crazy person, but I do self-talk. So I do,
we all do it.
I do. I look at myself in the mirror and I say things like, I believe in myself. I have a dream. I mean, I really do. And I teach my son is 3 and he does this too. I do every night before we go to bed.
I love
that. I
that.
teach him self-talk. So I do that, and I also surround myself with people that are excited about their own dreams, that are women who are just interested in empowering others, and I think that helps just to kind of have cheerleaders around you.
Yes, that was one of my C's in my book, was cheerleaders.
Love it.
I love it.
Love it.
And I love the mirror work. In fact, I'm actually learning some of that right now from Louise Hay about how to talk in the mirror. And at first it's a little bit, intimidating.
And weird.
What are you looking at me? What are you talking to the mirror for?
Right, right.
But it is very powerful. So I'm hearing some themes of alignment and values and self-talk that are all great things to have in our tool bucket. So that's kind of what helped pulled you through, or kept you going. Now, was there anybody that said you could or couldn't do a winery?
Yes, you know what? I met with someone that, in my eyes, was insanely successful. She was in the wine industry, and I took her out to lunch, and I just said, you know what? I just want to pick your brain about
Sure.
this. And I talked to her about my project, and you know, she told me about she shared with me all the reasons why it wouldn't work, and it was really discouraging.
Oh.
But it was a great learning for me. Because what it taught me is that I will never do that to someone else.
Okay.
When someone comes to me with their dream, I want to be a cheerleader
Sure.
for them.
Yes.
Because even if I've had experiences that may not have worked for me, I love to share those experiences, but not in a way that makes someone believe that they can't do it. It may not have worked for me, or I may have encountered some bumps that were very hard, but it doesn't mean that someone else can't do it.
Right.
So yes, this individual, I walked away just kind of feeling,
Like a sinking.
yeah,
Oh,
and
no.
it didn't tear me away from my dreams, but it was just discouraging. It was discouraging.
But you did it anyway. Well,
Oh, yeah.
when you share with somebody your lessons learned, like here's what I learned, here's what to be aware of. You know,
Right.
that's different than saying, okay, here's why it won't work.
Right,
Because
exactly.
you could
yeah.
learn all those things that happened to them or did wrong or in their mind did wrong, but always a learning lesson. And think, okay, now I'm empowered. I know what to already look for.
Right.
But if it's more like you can't do it, that's
Right.
just so demeaning. And
Oh yeah.
poo-poo.
It wasn't nice.
Poo-poo. We poo-poo that. We like empowering people.
Exactly.
That's why we have cool people on this Peace Week. So I love the idea of getting in that quiet place, because I do think that we have the answers, you know, within, which is, you know, what a lot of coaching is about, is helping people find those answers. But I like the idea of that quiet, sacred space where you can kind of put your doubts and worries on a bookshelf. Like in my mind, I have this little bookshelf where when those things kind of creep up, I just kind of like, you sit over here for a while.
Right.
Oh, it's you again. Come
Right.
over and sit on the shelf, you know, a little bit longer, and then just to use your values as that alignment factor. You know, I hear that theme for you is, does it align? Because sometimes we can chase dreams or things that aren't ours,
Right. Yeah.
or they feel good in the moment. I love
Yeah.
that. Thank you for sharing that, because I think that when you know what you really want, then you kind of have that freedom to charge forward.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love it.
Charge forward. I love
Charge.
it.
All right, so what is next for you with the winery or with life? What is next on the horizon for you?
Gosh, you know, the crazy thing is, like, I have all these little passions.
You do.
You know, all these
Multi-passionate.
passions that,
A lot of us
yeah,
are.
it's like there are all these passions, and there's so many things that I want to do, and you know, having a winery and going into entrepreneurship is just one of my dreams.
Mhm.
You know, I'd love to write a book one day. You know, you were talking about networking and kind of the power of networking, and there's some things that have worked for me that I love to just kind of you know,
Oh.
document in some way. And
We need that.
yeah, I think
We
that's
need
just
that.
kind of something that I love to do. And then I've done a couple women's retreats. And in me, I feel like I need to do at least 2 more, and then I can be done, like, leading women's retreats. But I just kind of feel like
There's something
it's not
there.
done, it's
Okay.
not finished, and I like to do a couple
Ah,
of things.
so that's a good sign, right? If something feels unfinished too.
Yeah.
That's probably part of your passion and calling.
Yeah.
And,
I feel, and your calling, I think, is key to that, because my spirit, my soul, something is just unfinished about it. And I don't feel like it's something I want to do for the rest of my career,
Right.
but I just kind of feel like it's something that I need to do to feel complete there.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. Okay, wonderful. And now some fun kind of laser quick, I don't know if they're gonna be quick, but laser fun questions for you. What was your first job that you had, do you remember?
Oh gosh, I was, oh Lord. Actually, so I'm from the South. I'm from South
Okay.
Carolina, and I worked in a tobacco field.
Oh, wow.
I was very young.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yes.
That is a good memory. Was it hard work?
Oh my gosh, yes, and anyone from the South knows that it is incredibly hot and humid during
Hot
the
and
summertime,
humid.
so it was hard work and it was not fun.
Not your cushy environment, right? Not
Right,
your corner
exactly.
office.
the opposite.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, that is, I've never heard anybody have a first job of working in
Yeah.
a tobacco field. What about the weirdest job? What's kind of a weird job people don't know you had or would be surprised that you had?
I was a wrangler on the set of a movie called Joanna Man. It was filmed. I know. And a wrangler is someone
What?
who is responsible for a couple hundred extras on a set. And so the director would kind of tell us like what we need to do, move them, have them wave, whatever. So that was a wrangler.
Wow, what a fun job.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I'm a wrangler.
Said just like that. I'm a wrangler.
I'm a wrangler. I just want to say it like that. Right. So what about, this is, I don't know about laser and fun, but what's your definition of success? How do you know or feel success for yourself?
I think that each individual is responsible for defining what success is for them. And because I see it a lot, like when someone else has expectations for you, you kind of feel like you have to live up to those expectations, but you still don't feel satisfied because maybe it doesn't meet with your definition of your expectation of success. So I think that success is depending on the individual and what they feel their potential is, or what they feel their definition of success is.
So up to them to create. So what is it for you?
It's all the things that I want to do, I think, is success. For me, having a business, for me, actually, being a mom, I think that's success.
I do too.
Yeah. And which may not be success to someone else.
Sure.
Yeah. And I think that for me, if I look at from a broader perspective of what success is, I think it is really living my purpose.
Yes. That is successful. I love it. Simple and so right on. And I could have said it, but you said it better. Which is why you're here. I'm so excited. Sorry, I just get excited about people that I resonate with. All right. One thing that you want to do before you die. I mean, we talked about the retreats.
Yeah.
So we'll put that on the shelf.
Yes.
And I think that you have some other things in the pot that right now that you're working on. But what's one thing or two that you want to do before you die?
I don't have I actually don't have a big bucket list because I feel like I'm living what I want.
Awesome!
Well, I do. That was actually one of the questions I thought about. I don't have any aspirations to travel the world or
jump out of an airplane or something crazy
I
like
don't.
that. Yeah, that's not on my list.
Yeah, not on my list. But I feel like just what I want to do is continue to do what I'm doing.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I love it. She's living the dream. She's in the bucket list. She doesn't need a bucket list.
She's in the, I'm
in the bucket list.
You know what? Well, not, I'm just saying, I love that idea. That's a beautiful idea. Because people talk about what's your bucket list of what you want to do, and we spend our lives working to do that. But I'm in my bucket list. I love that.
Bucket list.
It's a different way of looking at it.
I'm living in the bucket list now.
Yeah.
Why wait?
Right.
Why wait?
Why
Use
wait?
the good china.
Right. Pull that china out and use
That's
it
right.
now. A lot of folks are going to be out pulling that china out, making dinner
I
time.
hope so. Get your china out. Not chinette or whatever that paper stuff is.
The
Well, you can use
china.
that too. I don't care. Do what moves you, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay, now this question is incredible. I got it from some really amazing special lady named Shae.
Oh boy.
What makes your smile leave your face and butterflies in your stomach?
I think, probably a few things. I think I'm still probably a new mom. My son is 3.
3, okay, yes.
And, watching him light up on things just makes me feel like I'm doing something right.
Yay!
Because I spend a lot of my time just kind of planning, how to make our family unit happy.
Right.
How to live in the moment. And starting a business can be tough because that's a baby in itself.
Right.
But still, as we go through this, how do I still create a family unit we be happy? So my son is, learning something, or when I'm like, yes, he got it, or he's getting it.
Yeah.
That makes me exciting.
You can see it on your face. I love it. Yeah, I think parenting is one of the most challenging and rewarding.
Yeah.
And I think it makes a lot of people light up. Even people that don't have kids light up when they see, kids growing and learning. So that's probably one of the most important jobs. Okay, so is there anything else that I didn't ask that you want to share? Something that's still burning, like you didn't share? Share away.
You know, we talked about theater. That's another thing I'd love to get
Oh.
into at some point. And I actually don't quite know what that looks like.
Yeah.
And but it's not. But I don't have a desire to need to know what the answer is. I feel like as I'm I believe that as I'm living my purpose and doing things that and putting out into the universe that I'd like to be involved in theater,
Yes.
that an opportunity will lend itself that matches what
Right.
what I need there.
So it'll come when it's time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad you shared that because I thought, okay, we might get to talk about this off camera because I love the theater too. And now when I go, I know that you do, and when I go to the play here locally, I think about you. And my girlfriend, we've been going for several years now, says, when are you going to be in the play? And I'm like, not this year. So someday,
Just someday,
maybe,
yes.
something.
Yeah.
But until it's time,
Right.
it's percolating.
Yeah.
You know, and the universe is kind of orchestrating all those pieces.
Of course, yeah, yeah. Well, you have a ton of other beautiful things going on right now,
Yeah.
including your book
Oh,
and
thank you.
the success of this, and your show, and all the other leadership,
Yeah.
wonderful things that you're doing around that.
As
So.
passionate people,
Right.
we have a lot to
A
juggle.
lot, exactly.
I'd rather do that than sit on a rock, right? So,
Yeah.
and then I get to meet so many amazing people, and I'm just so glad you were here, Shae. And I do want to have some conversation after our taping here, but I'm so glad you're here, and thank you for sharing. I can't wait to share this with you, and I'll share Shane's LinkedIn profile as well as the winery, and we'll have some great tweetables that Shae shared in terms of alignment and tapping into your values to help you make decisions, or flipping a coin.
Yeah, right. There's that.
So thank you so much, Shae. I'm
My
so glad
pleasure.
you're here.
Thank you.